Before the world danced to fire-hot grooves from the Ohio players, before their horns blasted across radio stations and changed the sound of American funk, a quiet architect was working behind the scenes, shaping melodies, building arrangements, and creating a musical identity that will echo across generations. In the heart of Dayton, Ohio, a city destined to become a funk powerhouse, this man stood as a founding force, a multi-instrumentalist with a sharp ear and sharper vision. He helped craft the early sounds of the Ohio players, long before their nationwide fame. His saxophone lines carried grit and elegance. His ideas became blueprints, and his musicianship set the foundation for the band that will eventually take the world by storm. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Clarence Satchell. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel, where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. If you guys would love to connect with me outside of YouTube, then I am officially announcing that I am on Discord. Here, you can provide me with feedback on my recent uploads. You could drop your suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to chat it up about videos or about music in general, or just about anything, we could do it here. We could do it together. I hope to see you there. The link is in the description below. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Dayton, Ohio, a city that will one day be called the funk capital of the world. But in the late 50s and early 60s, it was simply a place where a young musician named Clarence Satchell was discovering a language of sound. Born on April 15th, 1940 in Cleveland, Ohio, Satchell grew up surrounded by the rhythms of gospel, blues, and early R&B. While other kids chased sports or cars, Satchell chased melodies. He wasn't a flashy musician, he wasn't loud, and he wasn't trying to be a star. Instead, he was deeply serious about studying horn players, practicing endlessly, and observing the styles that was shaping the modern black music. The saxophone, with its soulful cry and expressive power, became an extension of him. Long before the Ohio players existed, Satchell was already sharpening the tools he would one day use to help shape a musical revolution. Before there was fame, before there was hit records, there was local band teenagers trying to create something new. Satchell became part of Dayton's vibrant R&B scene, playing in groups along with musicians who would eventually join him in forming one of funk's greatest collectives. It was during this period that Satchell's role as an arranger and musical organizer began to shine. He had a natural instinct for structure and how harmonies should flow, how horns should respond, and how songs could move a crowd. He wasn't just playing music, he was shaping it. This ability made him stand out, and soon it would bring him into a circle of musicians who share his hunger for something bigger. In the early 60s, Satchell became a founding member of a band that was called the Ohio Untouchables. This was a group that later transformed into the Ohio Players. The lineup evolved consistently, but Satchell became one of the key stabilizing forces. He wasn't just a saxophonist, he was a multi-instrumentalist and a central architect. His horn arrangements were sharp, soulful, and layered. His ideas and discipline helped shape the group's direction. And while the band still had years to go before fame, the seeds of their sound was growing, heavy grooves, and tight rhythms. As the 60s progressed, the Ohio Untouchables changed their names, members and began evolving. Satchell stayed. His presence gave the band community, a musical backbone during the years of shifting lineups and experimentation. But by the late 60s, the group had transformed fully into the Ohio Players, and Satchell's fingerprints was everywhere. The Ohio Players' sound was raw, emotional, and energetic, deeply rooted in R&B and soul, but reaching towards something more funkier, something more adventurous. Satchell became one of the key contributors to this transformation. His saxophone wasn't just a melodic instrument, it became a lead voice, a driving force. His arrangements helped the band build a more horn-centric sound that would later influence groups like Parliament-Funkadelic, Kool and the Gang, and Earth, Wind & Fire. But beyond playing and arranging, Satchell became a quiet leader within the band. He shaped song structures, he guided rehearsals, and he helped unify the musical direction. He remained consistent in a band that was constantly changing. The Ohio Players was beginning to push boundaries, and Satchell was helping laying down the foundation. When people talk about the Ohio Players, they often jump into the mid-70s when they was in that golden era with hits like Fire, Skin Tight, and Love Roller Coaster.
One more time, you hear what I said? I want to ride.
But before the band reached those heights, there was years of building, struggling, and grinding. During the late 60s and 70s, Satchell was right there helping produce early material, performing on stage night after night, and continuing to develop the band's horn sound. These years was very crucial. Without them, the Ohio Players' later success may not have been possible. Even when record deals shifted and financial struggles appeared, Satchell remained steady, a grounding force with a clear vision of what the band could be. As the Ohio Players moved into the mid-70s and gained commercial success, Satchell's role began to change. The group's sound shifted, new members entered, and the musical leadership diversified. Yet Satchell's early contributions was never forgotten by those who knew the band's true history. He had helped build the blueprint, the horn-driven, groove-focused foundation that became the Ohio Players' signature. Satchell's mismanagement with the group's finances caused them to run into trouble with the IRS, which left the group owing a lot of money and causing lots of members to lose everything that they worked so hard for. This resulted into the group and Satchell parting ways.
It appeared that someone in the band was using undeclared income, lots of it, to write unauthorized checks.
We're paying for penthouses in Chicago, LA, limousine service that we didn't need or he didn't even use them. Went straight to Mr. Satchell's house. I said, it don't look good, man. He said, I said, why didn't you tell me, man? You could have told me, man. He said, well, just don't mention it to the fellas, and I'll pay for your house.
Satchell and I had filed a joint return. So when the IRS came, the man was saying, you have the assets, so we're gonna, take your house and your car and this, that, and the other, and all I knew about was money that Satch brought home. He brought a check home every week, and that's the money that I lived on.
Other members of the Ohio Players also took aim at the man who had been their leader.
Marshall Jones had called me one night and told me that they were going to get Satch, and I said, get Satch? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we're going to get Satch and we'll take care of you, but we're going to have to, put Satch out of the group.
Satchell was fired from the band, but he wasn't the only one in trouble with the IRS.
They got a payment from the record company. They split the money up among themselves and kept it.
Mercury never withheld taxes from their royalties, and if there'd been a thought on Mercury's part, they wouldn't have listened to it.
The same man did everybody's taxes, and when IRS came at them individually, they were charged with the money that they each did not report.
And the players paid the price.
I lost my house, all the cars. I lost everything first. I was the first one out on the street, literally.
When I realized all I had worked for and all that I had accomplished, and seeing it go up in smoke with a for sale sign in my yard and sitting there with my wife, I broke down and cried like a baby.
We never got over that. We never got over that point that we had everything, then 1 second like that, it was just gone.
Satchell passed away on December 30th, 1995, leaving behind a musical legacy that deserved far more recognition than it receives. In the world of funk historians, musicians, and the fans who dig in the roots of Dayton's movement, Satchell is remembered as a pioneer, a founding father of one of funk's most influential groups. His saxophone shaped the Ohio Players' identity. His arrangements influenced generations of horn players. His commitment helped transform a local R&B band into a cornerstone of funk history. Satchell was not a spotlight seeker. He was a creator, a man whose musicianship helped define an era. Today, the sounds that Satchell helped shape continue to echo through music. From jazz to funk, hip-hop to R&B, samples of the Ohio Players and early recordings are still heard around the world. And at the heart of many of those recordings stands a sound that Satchell's saxophone, which was bold, soulful, and unmistakable. His name may not always appear on the front cover, but his influence is carved into the DNA of American music. The story of funk is incomplete without the Ohio Players, and most importantly, without Clarence Satchell. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What members of the Ohio Players who you would love to see a tribute video on?